We are going to sorry. Hi everyone, welcome to Job Fever. Today we are going to learn new topic which is related to OOPS concept. So we are going to learn class and object. Okay. Before learning the OOPS concept, it will be good to understand class and object. Then we'll understand all the pillars of OOPS concept, which is encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. So these all are the pillars of OOPS concept. You can see in this graph there is object, class, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. Okay, so these all are the pillars of OOPS. So we are going to touch one by one. So in this tutorial we are going to touch objects and class. We'll understand. So let's get started. Class and object. Okay, so in Java, classes and objects are basic concepts of object-oriented programming. Okay. So if you want to understand OOPS, then firstly you have to understand the Java. How can you create classes and objects? Okay, inside the Java. So data are used to represent real-world concept and entities. Okay. The class represents a group of objects having similar properties and behavior. So the class represents a group of objects, okay, having similar properties and behavior. So class is a group of object, okay, having similar properties and behavior. For example, the animal type dog is a class. Okay, so here dog is a class, while particular dog named Tommy is an object of the dog class. Okay, so here dog will be the class name, okay, and Tommy will be an object of that class. Okay, so like we can create a multiple instance of class. Like we have created one instance of a dog class which is Tommy, so we can also create second another instance of a class. Okay, we can name Seru. Okay, so that will be the another object of that class. Okay, if you want to create the third object of the class, okay, then you can create, okay, maybe any other name. Okay, so any name of dog. Okay, so like this we can create class and object inside Java. So we are going to elaborate what is class and how can we create class in Java. So a class in Java is a set of objects which shares common characteristics, behavior, and common properties attribute. Okay, so Java uh, says a set of object which shares common characteristics. Okay, so it's a set of object group of objects. It is a user defined blueprint or prototype from which objects are created. So class, that means the it is user defined blueprint of prototype, okay, from which objects are created. So object will be created from class. Okay, right? For example, student is a class, so we are going to uh, take another example of student. A student is a class, okay, while a particular student name Ravi is an object. Okay, same like dog example. Okay, so here student is a class and particular Ravi. Okay, Ravi will be the object of that class. Okay, so if you want to create another object of the class, so we can create Saurabh. Okay, Saurabh will be one another object of that class. Okay, so like this we can do. Okay, so second and third, if you want to create, then you can also create that Rakesh will be the object of that class, student class. Okay, so like this we can create multiple object of that class. Okay, so we can do like this, can create multiple instance of that class, and that instance will be called object. So properties of Java classes. The class is not a real world entity. It is just a template or blueprint or prototype from which objects are created. Okay, so it's a template or blueprint or prototype, you can say, from which objects are created. So class is not a real world entity, okay, but it is just a template or blueprint or prototype from which objects are created. Class does not occupy memory. Okay, so at the time of declaration of the class, it does not occupy any memory inside Java is a group of variables. Class is a group of variables of different data type and a group of method. Data types and group of method. So for getting the class, you have to declare the variables. We have to declare the method. Okay, so it's a group of variables, you can say, and group of variables and group of data type. A class in Java can contains data members, which is field, method, okay, constructor, blocks, nested class, so interface. So class contains all these things, which is field, method, constructor, block, nested class, and interface. So class syntax and example. So how can you create class inside Java? We'll see. So this will be the syntax of class, access modifier, and class name. Okay, like public, class, and class name. Here class name will be dog, and this is the class syntax. The This is the class keyword you have to use to create the class, and here access modifier like public. So this will be the data member, method, constructor, nested class, and interface you can create inside this class. So this is example of class. How can you create class? So here class student. Okay, so this is a keyword to create the class, and this is the class name, which is a student. So this is these are the data members. Okay, so id is a data member, student id, and name. So you can also call instance variable. And this is the main method we have created inside this class. Okay, to create the object of that class. So we're creating a student s is equal to new student. That means that we're creating the one object of class. That may be one instance of a class. So s1 is one instance of class. So creating an object of a student. So we can call s1 instance of a class or object of a class. So for creating this object, we can use this student s1 is equal to new student, like this you can create. So with that of the new student, it will create the object, and it will initialize into this s1 reference variable, and we can call like s1 dot add s1 dot name, and we can get the add value, add name. So like this you can create class inside Java. So components of Java classes, we'll see one by one. So modifiers, a class can be public or has default access. Okay, class keyword. So class keyword is used to create a class, and before just now we seen this. Okay, so class keyword, we need to create class keyword need to create class inside the Java. Class name, so the class name should begin with an initial letter. Okay, capital letter it should start. So modifier and with class keyword with class name, so we can create the class and super class if any. The name of the class is parent if any, preceded by the keyword extends. A class can only extend subclass. Okay, extend one parent. So in case of the superclass child class scenario, okay, so with the help of the extend keyword, you can extend that properties of your parent class or superclass inside your child class or subclass. Okay, so parent class is also known as superclass, and child class is also known as subclass. So that concept we can see in inheritance. So interfaces. a comma separated list of interfaces implemented by the class. If any preceded by the keyword implements, a class can implement more than one interface. So a class can implements more than one interface with the help of comma separated. So a class can also extend class, and class can also implement interface. Okay, these are, and how can we surround this class? So with the help of the double curly braces. Okay, so one curly braces two for starting the class, and at the last we have to close the class with the help of this closing curly braces. Okay, so I think we have seen everything uh, inside this. So we have completed this component of Java classes. Now we're going to see object. So we are going to understand object in Java. So let's get started. An object in Java is a basic unit of object-oriented programming and represents real life entities. Objects are the instance of a class. So here objects are the instances of a class that are created to use the attribute and methods of class. Okay. So we create objects to use the attribute and methods of a class. Attribute, that means the data field. Okay, field of that class. A typical Java program creates many objects which, as you know, interact by invoking methods. Okay, an object consists of, so you can create multiple objects of any class. You can create multiple instances of a class. An object consists of a state, okay, behavior. So a state, that means that it is represented by attributes of an object. Okay, it also reflects the properties of an object. Behavior, it is represented by a method of an object. It also reflects the response of an object with other object. Identity, it gives a unique name of a object and enables an object to instance object to interact with other object. Okay, state, behavior, and identity. Example of an object, this is dog. So identity of, so this will be the state, that means the breed, age, and color. So state is nothing. State is very all the variables that you are declaring inside the class. So breed, what will be the breed name of that dog, age, and color. Okay, so this will be the state. And what will be the behavior? Behavior of that dog will be bark, sleep, and eat. That means all properties of that class, all properties of dog. So this will be the behavior. And identity, name of the dog. So when at the time of creating the object of class, you provide the name of that class, which is if you're getting the object of dog class, then you are making Tommy as an instance, Tommy as an object. Then Tommy will be identity of that class. Okay, that object. So declaring object. So how can you declare object? We'll see. When an object of a class is created, the class is said to be instantiated. So object of a class is created. The class is said to be all the instances shares the attribute name and behavior of the class, but the values of those attribute, that is states, are unique for each object. Okay, a single class may have any number of instances. We can create the multiple instances of a class. So here class dog is there, state and behavior. Inside the state we have breed, age, and color, and inside the behavior we have the bark, sleep, and eat. So these will be the all the variables. These, and these all will be the all the methods. So this is the class dog, and these are the instance. Instance, that means the object. Object one, object 2, object 3, and object 4. Okay, so we have created four objects, which is dog 1, dog 2, dog 3, and dog 4 of class dog. Okay, so these all are the states and behaviors behaviors of dog class. As we declare variables like type name, okay, this notifies the compiler that will use the name to refer the data whose type is type, okay, which a primitive variable. This declaration also reserves the proper amount of memory for the variable. So for reference variable, the type must be strictly a concrete class. In general, we can't create object of an object class or an interface. So you can't create the object of an object class or an interface. So we can create the object of only class. Okay, that means the concrete class. So we are going to create one uh, instance of dog. Okay, so how can we do dog toffee? We have created. Okay, so if you declare the reference variable toffee like this, okay, its value will be undetermined null. Okay, so the toffee value will be here null. Okay, until an object is actually created and assigned to it. So how can you create the object? So with the end of that dog toffee, you have declared that class. You have declared the object of that class. That means you are trying to create an object. Okay, so before creating that object, you are declaring that you are declaring variable of that object or variable of that class. So dog is a class here, so we are creating one variable of this that. Okay, we're trying to create instance. So dog toffee, so here toffee will be the null. Okay, so what we have to do next, what we have to next, simply declaring a reference variable does not create an object. Okay, so we have declared reference variable here. Okay, reference variable of dog you have declared here, but it will not create the object. So how it will create the object? For that purpose you have to use new keyword like dog toffee is equal to new dog. Okay, the new within the new dog, the object will be created and that object will be assigned to this toffee. Okay, so like this you can create. So here you have to do like dog toffee is equal to, okay, new dog. With the help of new keyword you can do. Okay, so like this you have to do new dog, then it will be the complete creation of object. So you have created the object and you have assigned that object to this dog toffee. So if you declare a reference variable toffee like this, its value will be undetermined, which is null, until an object is actually created and assigned to it. Simply declaring a reference variable does not create an object. Okay, so I think you understood the point. Initializing a object, how can you initialize? So the new operator, just now we discussed the new operator instantiated a class by allocating memory for new object and returning a reference to that memory. So with the help of the new keyword, it creates memory inside the heap memory. Okay, so for all the instances, memory will be created inside heap memory. The new operators also invokes the class constructor. Okay, so how can you create the class and how can we initialize the object? We'll see in this example. Okay, so there is a dog class. Okay, the instance variable is name, breed, age, and color. Here constructor, all the constructor name. Okay, name, breed, age, and colors. So all the variables we are initializing with the help of the constructor. And this is the method get name, get breed, and get age and get colors. Okay, so these are the getters method. Okay, to fetch the value and get color, and these are twisting, and this is the main method. So inside the main method, what we are doing is dog topic is equal to new dog. Okay, so just now we discussed, okay, in previous slide. So dog topic equal to new dog. So here we are getting the new dog instance of one dog which is toffee, instance of dog which is toffee. That means the object of one object of dog. So here we are passing toffee, name of the dog, and breed of dog, and age and white color of dog. Okay, so one instance will be created with the name of toffee. Okay, So the memory will be allocated inside the heap memory because we are using new keyword. Okay, so one instance topic will be created here. Okay, so like this we can declare the object and we can create the object. The new keyword, so output will be my name is Toffee and my breed agent color is papillon 5 and white. So output will be like this. We have to create an object of a class. So how can we create, how many ways we can create the object of a class? So we'll see one by one using new keyword. Okay, it is most common and general way to create an object in Java. Okay, so with the help of like if you have a test class, then test t is equal to new test. With the help of the new keyword you can create the object of a class. Okay, you can create the instance of any class with the help of the new keyword. And second, using class dot for name. With the help of the class dot for name you can also create. So there is a predefined class in java.lang package with name class. Okay, the for name method returns the class object associated with the class with the given string name. We have to give a fully qualified name for a class on calling a new instance method on this class object. So we have to do class dot for name. Okay, we have package and new instance. Okay, so like this we can create a object of any class. So it will return a new instance of class with the given string name. So this will be the object of test. Okay, and we can create like class dot for name and consider class test present in com.p1.package. So class test is present in com.p1. Okay, so we have provided the package and the new instance. So like this we can create the object of a class. So this is the second way to create the object of a class, and we see the next way, which is third. With the help of clone we can create. Clone method is present in java.lang object. It creates the and creates and returns a copy of a object. So like this we can do. So previously in first scenario we have created like this, like test t1 is going to new test. So how can we t1 dot clone if we use, then we'll get clone of one t1 object, so which is t2. So like this we can making copy of t1. Okay, so with the help of the clone method, so like this we can create the object of any class. And we have fourth method, with the help of deserialization we can also create. So deserialization is a technique of reading an object from saved state in the file, refer to serialization and deserialization in Java. So you know the serialization and deserialization. If you don't know, I have already made the video on deserialization and serialization. You can go and you can watch. So at the time of the deserialization, you can make the copy of. Okay, so here we are creating file in file input stream file name. Okay, a new file input stream file. Okay, output input stream and in dot read object. So here we are reading. Okay, at the time of deserialization we are creating the object of object class. So like this we can create object of any class. Okay, so we have four ways to create the object of any class. So you can use any scenario. So difference between class and object. At last we'll discuss what is difference between class and object. So class is a blueprint of an object. It is used to create object. Okay, and an object is an instance of a class. So class is a blueprint of an object and it is used to create object, and an object is instance of a class. No memory is allocated when the class is declared. So at the time of the class declaration, there will be no memory allocation. So memory allocated as soon as object is created. So once we will create the memory with the help of new keyword, then memory will be created inside the heap memory. A class is a group of similar object. Okay, an object is a real world entity such as book, car, etc. Class is a global entity, and an object is a physical entity. A class can only be declared once. A class can only be declared once. Okay, it should be unique. An object can create many times as per requirement. So you can create multiple objects. An example of class can be a car. So car can be a class, but objects of a class can be BMW, Mercedes, so and Ferrari. It is like so. Like this, we can differentiate class and object. So I hope you understood all the points of class and object. So this is the most basic things of oops concept, but this is very important to understand. And after that, you can easily understand all the remaining pillars of concept, like we have abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance. Okay, so we'll see one by one in next tutorial. So thanks for watching, everyone. If you're loving my effort, please like, share, and subscribe. Bye, everyone.